My best teacher name, though, was Miss Munjum.
Miss Munjum?
Miss Munjum.
Oh.
She was an old lady.
What'd she teach?
She was just my grade 1 teacher. And whenever...
Miss Munjum?
Well, it could have been Mrs. I don't recall. But she looks the way her name sounds. Like, she was an old lady. And first thing in class we'd do in the morning is she would bring out her Bible.
Ooh.
And this is public school. And she would start reading the Bible to us. Sometimes she'd do it for like 10 or 15 minutes. Sometimes she would do it till the first recess bell.
Wow.
So that's like an hour and a half of sitting through the Bible.
Sitting through Jesus.
In public school.
In public school.
Well, we sang "O Canada," we sang "God Save the Queen," we said the Lord's Prayer.
So
We
like
didn't.
That was like
grade
2 or grade 3. Maybe.
We only sang "O Canada" at assemblies. We didn't sing it every morning.
No, we did.
Yeah, we did.
And then for some reason, "God Save the Queen" was at the end of the day.
Yeah. Sing "God Save the Queen" at the end of the day.
We never sang "God Save the Queen."
Probably when she was awake. Because if we got there at 8, she probably was still sleeping.
Well, yeah, in England, time change.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. I don't know where the time shift is, but I always was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, she's probably waking up right now. So that's why we sing "God Save the Queen." I have no clue. Hey, well, we're BUCKO. This is my best friend Lauren.
This is my best friend Aaron.
And this is our best friend Cory Hamel. And legitimately, he is our best friend because he was in our wedding party.
Mm-hmm. Insert photo here.
Yeah, he did. We took some wedding photos where it looked like I was part of a. What is that site? What's that site? Photo Bucket? No.
Like.
What's it called?
Oh man, like
Tumblr?
stock photos.
Stock photos.
Oh, it's going well.
So it looked like stock photos. So we'll put that one up, and then Cory. Because Terry Ray, we did an episode with Terry Ray. He was also in our wedding party, and he is the stunt guy. And he showed up late, and we were like, let's take a photo of us holding Terry, because he's very wee. And we were just doing this, and Cory was the person that made that photo happen. So we'll put that photo up big so you can see it. And that's Terry Ray, little and wee, in our hands, and late. So he deserved it.
So Cory and Aaron have known each other since they were wee little boys.
Well, no.
Great teenagers.
Yeah.
They're wee little boys in comparison to there now.
What are you trying to say? She's trying to call me fat, I think.
No, I'm just saying young, doe-eyed boys.
It was grade...
No, dough in my eyes.
Grade 11, right?
Grade 10? I thought you said grade 10.
No, well, grade 11 is when we really met.
Was it?
Yeah, because
How did we meet?
Mr. Bruce's class.
Mr. Bruce, is that where we met?
Well, yeah, well, then I became friends with Ben and Terry and those guys that year.
Yeah, but we were friends first, though, weren't we?
I don't think so.
We met in art class, didn't we?
I don't think I was ever in your art class.
No, I wasn't in everyone's art class. I was literally, I would just leave class to go to art class.
I was with all the skater kids.
Right. And I would just show up. Swear to God, we met before then.
No.
We weren't in gym class together, were we?
No, I just remember Slap 'em 5, but that was...
Slap 'em 5. Slap 'em 5. So, in gym class, we had low organized games logged. And you had to invent a low organized game. And I was like, I don't want to invent a low organized game. And I was with Paul Williams and Lysander. And we had to make a low organized game like tag or something that was really quick to do. Like soccer, baseball, that kind of thing. So I was like, just follow me, guys. I got it. Because we didn't organize anything. So what I did was I organized people in 2 lines in the gym. And then there was a pitcher and a catcher and a guy playing soccer, baseball kind of thing. And it was 2 against 1 kind of thing. And I had people stand in 2 lines in the middle of the gym holding their hands out like this. And they would roll the ball and play soccer, baseball normally. And I would just run, giving all of them 5 after I kicked the ball. And that was the whole game. Like, there's no reason for it.
It's the name, Slap 'em 5.
Slap 'em 5. And I don't know if I recall winning. I do remember Jordan getting, making turkey chicken, which basically was duck goose. So that was low organized games. What did you have for low organized games?
I failed that unit because I cared even less and I didn't even bother doing it.
See, I don't even know if I failed. I know I just improvised a really crappy game. And that's the beginning of my improv world. Did you have to do a log? A little organized game?
Yeah, I think we did. I don't remember. Ours, I do remember we had to make up in social dance, because we had social dance in our gym class.
Yeah.
And you had to learn the jive or the waltz. And in the jive one, you had to create your own move.
Oh.
And then name it. I don't remember what we named it. But me and Brian Dixon, he was a good guy. And we were really good jivers. And we did this move where you do like the over the head thing.
Yeah.
But then when you got here, you came out and then you like slid out like this. And then you turned your hand. And then you pushed off. And you both spun around and went all the way to the ground. And then went like this. Because we were bored. And then stood up and then went right back into the rock step. And we got like 10 out of 10 in jive.
Well, there you go.
I don't know where Brian Dixon is. He was a really good long distance runner.
Dixon with
dancer.
a CK or with an X?
X.
With an X.
I think.
If you know who he is, then let him know.
He was a very nice guy. I haven't seen him since high school. But
I remember in gym class having to do line dancing.
yeah.
Like getting forced into line dancing.
Like
I
with
didn't take
Cadillac
that.
Ranch? Did you guys have to do it to Cadillac Ranch?
No, I think it was probably like achy breaky heart. I seem
yeah.
to remember.
We also had the two-step with you and me go fishing in the dark.
All right.
The two-step.
go.
But I grew up in Calgary. So you just didn't not have
I don't know if I took any line dancing. I probably eye rolled my way out of the whole class and into the hallway and skipped it. So
But it's too bad because you're a good dancer.
yeah, I detest line dancing. I detest it.
Well, line dancing isn't like...
It's not dancing.
Did you guys do any more than like you didn't learn waltz or tango or jive?
We learned that a lot in drama.
Oh, we got it in gym class.
Because in grade 12, I did so many extracurricular things. I graduated with I think we only needed 31 credits. Is that right?
I don't know, I skated by with 31.
Yeah. I had 39 credits because of jazz band, choir.
Wow.
And then so in grade 12, I was like, I've already kind of graduated. I just need to get my math and what else did I need to get?
The stuff you
in
have to
English,
have.
the things you have to have. So I was like, I'm going to take grade 10 drama in grade 12. So I took grade 10 drama because I was never in drama. And a couple of us did, I think. And I just took grade 10 drama in grade 12, and that was great. That was a lot of fun.
I was actually worried towards the end of high school because I thought I wasn't going to have enough credits.
I remember that stress.
I remember those kids that didn't have enough credits. They needed their gym credit, and they needed to go back for gym. Yeah, you had to go back for gym. That was sad.
That was almost me.
That was sad. That was and usually it was the CPR unit. That's the.
At my high school, there was a group of guys that I don't even know their names, but everyone just called them the Backstreet Boys, because they had frosted tips and shopped at Randy River, and
Just the tips.
and they all seemed to have last names that were around my last name, and so I remember me and my friend Amber Davis. Hey Amber, because we were close. Sitting, me, Tiffany, Amber, and Trevor were sitting in the thing for graduation, and there was two of the Backstreet Boys on that side, and then two of the Backstreet Boys on the other side, and then they called our names, and you do the walk, and you get the little fancy diploma thing, and shake the hand, and you get a picture, and then later I was like, whoa, this is cool, and I'm like, this isn't the real, it says on it, not your real diploma, you get the real one mailed to you after you graduate. Well, they prove you finished your exams, and then one guy was like, I know I didn't graduate, I'm just doing this so I can give a picture to my grandma. And it's
well, you should be
Good.
happy, Grandma.
Good. So your grandma thought you graduated, but no one else did. Crappy Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Eventually, your grandma passes away, and you still don't have a GED. Interesting.
Yep.
But Cory, is a quieter man than most, but he's a very good drawer. Very good at drawer. He was very good at art, and so that's kind of what you do now. You're a graphic artist, right?
Yep.
What do you define it as?
Graphic designer.
Graphic designer, not artist. He's designs.
Fancy.
But going back to high school, I graduated with a 77 average. Yep. But that was including a 50 in math, a 51 in chemistry.
So all your options kept your average up?
Yeah.
But it was I got a 96 in graphic design and a 98 in art, so that
Boosted
Boosted
it. That
it up.
happened to me with certain classes too.
Yeah.
Saved your butt.
And then you graduate, and then you go to university and you go, I hate university.
Yep.
Some people didn't. Some people, congratulations to you. You're now doctors or lawyers or whatever you are. Congratulations. I appreciate you. But we make the world go around. I'm just joking.
No. Well, yeah, I remember having teachers being like, "You're not going to survive in the real world, Miss Cochran, unless you learn this stuff."
That was my grade 6 teacher.
Still haven't used it.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Grade 6 teacher said what to you?
Oh, that we weren't
Let's
going
say
to...
name.
We were going to... Mrs. Durkee.
Mrs. Durkee. She's like a crappy Murky. She's a Durkee.
She was a good teacher, but...
Yeah.
I remember we went to like the Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra. And this was back in the 80s when you could smoke inside. And me and a couple of my friends were like getting bored sitting in there.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, let's just go in the lobby or something. So we leave. And Miss Durkee's out there smoking a cigarette, and she just freaked out when she saw us because she didn't want us, us to see her
she had
smoking.
a life. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's funny when people do that.
But you could always tell that she smoked because whenever she was at the chalkboard, she always held the chalk like a cigarette.
Yeah.
My favorite mishap one of my favorites is when teachers accidentally start pointing to things on the board, but they're like doing this. They're giving you the middle finger.
Yeah.
That was always great. I was like, look at that. Look. I'd always have to get someone else's attention to make sure that I wasn't dreaming.
My grade 8 math teacher, Mrs. Smith, always had chalk on her butt. Like always. And she wore fleece stirrup pants.
Is that her real name or are you just hiding?
No, Mrs. Smith it was. And she had like fleece stirrup pants, and she would always like write on the board and then turn around and talk to us and then come back and she'd wipe it because she had quite a bubble bump, but she was very petite, but she just had like a perfect like
Bubble butt.
kind of a Kardashian butt, but she was not a sexual lady at all. She was very like someone's mom. Not that moms can't be sexy, but you know what I mean? And she always had chalk on her butt. Always. And it would be like handprints, and it was embarrassing.
I'm just saying moms are sexy. Moms are sexy. Right?
Sure.
I think my best my best teacher name though was Miss Munjum.
Miss Munjum.
Munjum. Oh.
She was an old lady.
What'd she teach?
She was just my grade 1 teacher. And whenever
Miss Munjum?
Well, it could have been Mrs. I don't recall. But she looks the way her name sounds. Like she was an old lady. And first thing in class we'd do in the morning is she would bring out her Bible. Ooh. And this is public school. Shit. And she would start reading the Bible to us. Sometimes she'd do it for like 10 or 15 minutes. Sometimes she would do it till the first recess bell.
Wow.
So that was like an hour and a half of sitting through the Bible.
Wow. Sitting through Jesus.
In public school.
In public school.
Well, we sang O Canada. We sang God Save the Queen. We said the Lord's Prayer.
So we didn't.
That was like
grade
2 or grade 3.
We only sang O Canada at assemblies. We didn't sing it every morning.
No, we did.
Yeah, we did.
And then for some reason, God Save the Queen was at the end of the day.
Yeah. Sing God Save the Queen at the end of the day.
We never sang God Save the Queen.
Probably when she was awake. Because if we got there at 8, she probably was still sleeping.
Well, yeah, in England, time change.
Yeah. I don't know if that's true. I don't know where the time shift is, but I always was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, she's probably waking up right now. So that's why we sing God Save the Queen. I have no clue.
And the strap was still a thing when we were...
I never had the strap.
Well, I never had it either, but it was still a thing back then.
What? Never had that.
Yeah, in the 1940s, it was still a strap. So, Cory is an amazing artist. He he makes a lot of our, helps us with our art. Mm-hmm. With our helmet logo and stuff like that. Does a lot of good ink shit. Do you have you just got Instagram?
We just got Instagram.
What is it? At Cory Hamel?
I don't remember. I've got...
At Cory Hamel.
No E in the Cory.
No E in the Cory, because that's lame. Why add the extra vowel? You have to buy those on Wheel of Fortune.
I've got a website, though.
He's got a website. Check it out.
What's
your website?
There's a link right here.
Okay.
But
say what it is. He knows how it works.
Say what it is.
Oh, CoryHamel.com.
Right there.
Simple.
He owns it. CoryHamel.com. Check it out. You did some stuff, though. Like, we all work. We work in film, Lauren and I. You work in film once in a while, too, right? Because you did that set concept art, didn't you? For Clue?
A few years ago, yeah, I worked on Clue.
And then you work on D&D stuff.
Yeah, do books for D&D.
Pretty rad, if I do say so myself. Mm-hmm. Cory Hamel. Any stories that you want to share that you recall?
Of us?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want. This is the Cory Hamel show.
I'm trying to think the first time I met you was in Toronto. You came out for a visit. And it was a supermarket, which was not the store, but a bar called the supermarket.
Yeah,
right. Did I have a variety variety show?
You did have one there, but it wasn't during that.
How old were you when I met? I want to say you were like
23.
No, I would have been like 24 probably.
Was it 24?
Yeah, 23, 24.
But whatever age it was, I remember for the longest time you were one of those people that I always thought was that age.
Forever? She is 24.
I was always like, Lauren, she's 24, right? No, she's 28 now.
I grew up, I aged. But that's fine if you want to think I'm 24 all the time.
Lauren's always been beautiful. Thanks. So you came out to visit, and I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I think that's when I first told you about Advanced Wizards and Warriors, right?
Could have been.
Yeah, I remember sitting.
Oh, yeah.
And we met you. That's the first time I met you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we went to not Mel's. It was on College. What was the diner? College.
Oh, Franz.
Franz with the Franz on College.
That's good.
And Cory came for a visit. Who'd you come with? You came with
I
someone.
was with Chloe because I was dating Chloe.
Right.
Yeah.
And Cory came for a
Because
visit.
her dad lived in Toronto.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. We figured
Full
it out.
circle.
That's where
Yeah.
Cory met Lauren. Lauren met Cory. Did we do any shows while you were there? Don't think so.
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think I might have met you after a show.
Yeah, probably.
I think.
Probably because we went out for Franz.
Nobody here cares.
No one cares. We're moving on. Any other stories though? What sticks out in your mind of the story?
One of my favorite stories is, I don't know if you ever told, the one with the stuffed weasel.
Oh yeah, that was good. So, do you want me to tell it? Or do you want to tell it?
You can start. We can pass back and forth.
Pass back and forth. So, the musicals at Vincent Massey at one time were like a big deal. Pretty impressive. That's how I think I got into acting. I'll tell you about the musical. Musical wasn't just for like theater kids. It was kind of like theater girls and jocks. That's how it kind of worked. And then a few in between. So everyone did the musical. It was a big deal at our school. It was a weird crowd. It was a fully diversified crowd, but it was huge. And we were doing the show Guys and Dolls. Probably one of the better shows within the era. It kind of died out pretty soon after that, the whole musical thing. Because the kids weren't interested anymore. So we're doing Guys and Dolls. And there's an act in there where it's called Take Back Your Mink that Adelaide sings. And so during that, they had a whole bunch of just pelts, like mink
with
pelts.
like the head and the legs
head
still
and the
on.
legs.
Somebody's grandma donated
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, absolutely. So my friend Terry Ray and Cory, Terry the stunt guy, so him and I were like, oh, this will be really funny, because basically throughout the musical, I would just play pranks the whole time, like the whole time.
And I was there unsanctioned.
Yeah, Cory would just show up because Cory was our friend. He was just like, oh, well, let's see what they're doing. It was Friday night. It was an all-night cast rehearsal, so you went from like all day. So it was a Saturday, and you went
People
all
had
day, all night.
like blankets and tents in the gym.
It was all day, all night kind of thing. It was amazing. So it was this dress rehearsal. So you'd get easily bored and you would ruin the school in some way. You tried to play prank. So what we did was Terry and I took some fishing line, some filament, and tied it to the head and the tail of the mink because we wanted the girl who was wearing it to be wearing it during the act, and we were going to like snatch it off of her. But before we did that, Cory showed up. And then Cory did you take the front or the back?
I had the back. You had the front.
I had the front.
Terry Ray had a coonskin cap on and like a rifle or something. And we started off running down the hallway with him chasing it.
Yeah, so we would puppeteer it, right?
Yeah, we basically just ran.
We ran with it.
It just looked like
the mink was running down the hallway with a whole bunch of teenage girls going, ah, ah!
Well, there was no one really in the hallway.
No one in the hallway.
It was when we ran into the gym with all the lights out.
Yeah, the lights were out except for a few at the front of the stage. So we're like, let's run in the front of the stage.
So people just see two guys kind of jogging through the gymnasium.
With this
but all of a sudden, people are freaking out because
feral mink. I think it was a fox, right?
It was some kind of weaselly looking.
Okay, so it was a mink, but it was large.
Yeah,
it was long. I think it was a little fox.
Could have been. Huh?
Anyway, it was real, and we tied it. So it looked like this fox was running through, and it looks like it's chasing me. It looks like Cory's like trying to chase it, and then Terry Ray with a gun with the coonskin cap is like, and then all these girls are screaming. And then my drama teacher was like, Aaron!
Yeah, I just remember the lights all coming on. Her yelling Aaron, and then I happened to be right next to a door, so I just went and just shot it.
That's a good friend.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, he would have got blamed anyway.
That's basically what happened all through Miss Gibson. I don't know if she wasn't a fan, I have no clue. But I literally could be sitting next to a piano, and like 5 people would be playing it, and this is what would happen. Aaron, get off the piano. And I'd be like, I'm not even on the piano. I'm legit just standing here. And for some reason, I was to blame for this piano being played. Anyway, I played a lot of pranks, so that's probably why, I'm assuming.
And there's also all the movies you made. Remember those?
We made a lot of movies. Cory, you were involved in a lot of those movies.
Yeah, vaguely. But there was the
There's
time.
just a lot of me just getting fake hit by a car.
Yeah, I remember a lot of those. Then
Me just doing that and falling back
over and over again. And then there was the time you got kicked out of Victoria General Hospital.
Yeah, we filmed getting kicked out because we were making a film.
Well, you were also wearing like a World War II Russian trench coat and a welding mask.
Yeah, I was wearing a welding mask and a World War II Canadian Air Force.
Oh, was it Canadian?
Yeah, Canadian Air Force coat. Because we were filming something for our school. We snuck into the emergency room area, went through, found an empty room and a gurney, and filmed this scene for school. I should put that up with this. If I can find it, I will try. I doubt it, but I will try and find this. The Wizard of Id is what it was named.
Yeah, and you had... Yeah, and then I think we used that for the end credits, was you getting...
Kicked out.
Escorted out by security.
By security.
And you had the Imperial March playing as you walked. I was going to say that there was a time that you weren't there when I was filming with Jamie Moe
and Jeff
Yoon.
Yeah.
And the police came after us, but we didn't know it.
What were you guys doing?
It was out by the that weird kind of religious community, like near the Boston, like behind the Boston Pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
that area. So that was private property that we didn't know about.
And you guys were doing wheelies or something, right?
No. What we were doing, they were filming a scene with, I think it's... Who did more daring stuff, Jeff or...
Jeff.
It was, yeah,
Jamie just held the camera.
No,
he had the ideas.
Jamie was, I think I might have been filming at that time, but Jamie was in the car and Jeff was going to like carjack him with like a pistol. And he's, yelling, "Get the fuck out of the car," and just, freaking. And we remember seeing this woman from this religious community and her two kids kind of run across the street out of the park across from us. Not really thinking about it, but, she
They're
thought...
running from some violence.
Well, she thought there was, someone... Well, there's some guy with a gun yelling at a guy in the car, so she thought it was legitimate, and why wouldn't she?
He's a good bystander, a good Samaritan.
Bunch of teenagers.
But we didn't think about it, and then the scene, I think Jamie takes off and drags Jeff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Or it could have been the other way around, but either way, they get dragged along the gravel.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they got all cut up pretty
Yeah, we did a lot of those just for film credit or for school credit.
And then I don't know how they found out, but we left, and apparently the cops got there like just after we left, and somehow they found that they knew about that we were from Massey. I don't know how, because apparently one of the teachers was contacted or something, but I also avoided everything from that too somehow.
Teflon Don over here. So Lauren, you made some own student films.
Oh, yeah. In high school, I had a good teacher, Mr. Rosenthal.
Yep.
And we had one called Dating a Bitch Project. That's terrible. I don't know, it was for comm class, I think. And then we did another one called Dit Splits. And we were just like dumb girls, but we just filmed it. And it was really just an excuse because we were allowed to walk around the
Goof
school.
around, man.
Yeah, all day. But I truly had integrity in my filming.
Getting credit for having fun is the best.
Yeah.
I don't remember any sort of like narrative or anything with any of these movies.
No, they're horrible. They're absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
They're absolutely like there's no the narrative is horrible. They're clunky. They're just student films. Like worse, they're high school student films.
Yeah.
So, do you have any stories of Cory that you remember? I do, but we don't want to say them probably.
No.
We had Fight Club for a while.
We had Fight Club, yeah.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know about it.
Yeah, me and Cory
We
were
were
in
in
Fight
Fight
Club.
Club.
I would just knock on the door and then he'd answer and I'd punch him in the face.
And that's how it started.
And that's what started. And then, because Cory lived in the apartment underneath there and I in Vancouver.
Absolutely.
And then, you'd just be like out in public somewhere and it'd be like, turn around, straight in the face.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Nice try. Cory did live below us when we lived in Vancouver, which was probably that was the best part of living in Vancouver was like just having like a close friend live underneath you and just like
It's like having a roommate you can kick out.
Yeah, absolutely. Lauren once tell your cupcake story.
Oh, so I was going to have a surprise party for Aaron's birthday. And so I told Aaron I was going to work, but me and Cory had colluded that he gave me a key to his place. And so I just pretended to go for work, but really my backpack was full of baking supplies. So Cory went to work and I went into his apartment all day and made pies and cupcakes and all this stuff. And I realized I needed some filling. And I had made cupcakes, so I wanted them to cool off. And Cory at the time had this amazing cat named Bailey. And Bailey was the sweetest sweetest cat in the whole world. And so I was like, okay, Bailey, don't eat any of this stuff. But I didn't grow up with cats. I grew up with dogs, and I knew you don't leave food out, and dogs will eat it. But I was like, cats won't. So he had this bookshelf, so I put the cupcakes on top of the bookshelf by the window. It was open so they'd cool off, and then I like stealthily went to the store because I was really worried Aaron would see me. And then I came back, and everything was fine except one cupcake was on the ground, and the total top was just licked off. Like perfect.
The bread part?
Yeah.
I thought it was the icing.
No, it was the bread part. There was no icing on it. It was just the bread part. But it was clearly like, it was like if you took like a hot knife and like shaved it.
With a tongue.
With
a
tongue.
cat tongue.
And then I'm just like, what the? And it was really confusing because I didn't get it. And then I look, and then Bailey's just like chilling on the couch like, yeah.
And whenever Cory was away, we'd have to go feed Bailey.
Yeah.
We'll put a picture of Bailey up.
He was so cute.
He was the best. We could do anything. I actually had a bit around Bailey, but I'll show you the picture of that. But we would go down and have to feed Cory, or feed Bailey. We did feed Cory a lot too. He was out of a job for a little bit.
Yeah.
We fed Cory and paid
Helped
for his
him
internet.
And dressed him. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the internet.
Paid for the internet.
When you guys had moved out, I had to get it myself.
He had the internet by himself. But we would end to show up, and then Lauren does a really good impression of this, where you'd show up and like Bailey's like smoker's meow was amazing.
Yeah. So in the morning you'd be like, hi Bailey, and he'd be like, and you're like, all right, I'll get your food. And then he'd wait until you got it to him.
Yeah, in the morning it always sounded like he just had like a night of like just
like rough.
Debauchery.
And he always had one eye that was a little bit more open than the other, and he'd be like, and he was like really happy that you were there. And
he was like a happy Garfield is what he was. He was like a pleasantly happy Garfield.
Yeah. One time I had to go to Vancouver for business, and I stayed at Cory's on the couch, and I woke up in the morning and Bailey was like around my face with his head like right here. I'm like, thanks. Like he was just.
So this episode is R.I.P. Bailey.
Yeah.
We miss you. We love you. We wish you were here. Thank you so much. This is my best friend Lauren.
This is my best friend Aaron.
And this is my best friend Cory.
This is my
Hi.
And we thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe to our channel and check out some videos, maybe over here. We love you. We'll see you next time. Remember to subscribe. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye, Cory.
Bye, Cory. Bye.
Bye, Cory. You did it. You did it.
Bye, Club.